Hi, my name's John Mann. It's summer 2018. This is the first in a series of short videos that I'm going to be creating, designed for startups and small businesses. What I'm going to be doing in this first video is looking at business broadband and telephony for small businesses. I'm going to be comparing the leading offerings from BT and Virgin Media Business, showing you what's good, what's not so good, and how to avoid the common mistakes that many startups make. Let's have a look. So first of all, let's have a look at Virgin Media Business Fibre. I should say at this stage that I resell this along with BT, Vodafone, O2, Virtual One and others. So I've got a broad perspective on the market. If Virgin Media Business is available in your area, then it's always worth a look, mainly because it offers terrifically high speeds. Now Virgin Media's 4 packages all offer the same download speed of up to 350 megabits, which is more than adequate for the vast majority of businesses. Where they differ, in a number of areas in fact, but principally is the upload speeds, which change from 7 megabit on the smallest packages up to 20 on the most expensive. Upload speeds really are important if you are a business that uploads a lot of information to the internet. Perhaps you're uploading glossy brochures if you're an estate agent, perhaps to Rightmove or Zoopla, or backing up data to a cloud storage provider, that sort of thing. But for the vast majority of businesses, in fact, 7 megabit of upload speed is more than adequate. So let's have a little look then at the differences between options 1, 2, 3 and 3 plus as Virgin call it. Looking at option 1 first of all, a couple of things to note. The SLA for a fault is 48 hours. Now you have to ask yourself as a business, could you cope with being out of service for 2 full days? That's not to say that it will take 48 hours on every occasion to fix a fault, but if it did, how would that affect your business? The second thing to note is that with Virgin Media Fibre option 1, the only option is dynamic IP addressing. Now for most businesses, again, that's not a problem, but if you are running a web server or perhaps want to connect your broadband to a CCTV camera, then having a static IP address is useful. So just be aware of that little limitation if you are taking this entry-level package. The price is keen at £32 per month. We'll look at how that compares with others a little bit later. So a good package if you need a high-speed broadband connection, not particularly highly featured, but again going to be very suitable for the vast majority of businesses. Let's move on and look at option 2. So here is option 2. The key difference is here the upload speed has increased to 15 megabit, and we can now choose between dynamic and static IP addressing. You'll also note that you can add bolt-ons to increase the number of static IP addresses if you've got lots of devices that you want to connect, or indeed reduce the fault resolution time from 24 hours to 12. But it gets expensive when you start adding £7.50 to the £45 per month charge in order to achieve that. Nonetheless, if you definitely need static IP addressing in order to connect a web server or perhaps a CCTV camera, this is a competitive package. Let's look at option 3. So option 3 in fact is very similar to option 2. Slightly higher upload speeds of 20 megabits, and you can now have 5 static IP addresses as standard. But otherwise there's not much to choose between the various packages. At £52 per month the price is increasing, but I would say that it's still reasonably competitive for what you get. And finally we have Voom Fibre 3 Plus. Again, 350 megabit of download speed, 20 megabit of upload speed, but a reduced fixed time in the event of a fault to 12 hours. And that might be more appropriate for your business. Also, with this final package, Virgin have included a data SIM offering 32 gigabit of data. There's also unlimited mobile calls and texts, and the whole package costs £69. Now, on the face of it, looks pretty competitive. That's a lot of data with the mobile package. So much so, in fact, that I would have to ask, would you actually need it? Overall, again, a competitive package. So, let me give you a tip, and this relates to your telephone lines. The fibre providers do offer a telephone line option, typically for about £10 per month, and that might seem the obvious thing to do. However, my advice would be, don't do that. Instead, take a seat of hosted telephony. And there are 3 reasons why I would suggest that this is a good idea. An ordinary telephone line, such as those that you can take from the fibre providers, is fine, but it's pretty basic. All it allows you to do is make and receive a phone call. With a seat of hosted telephony, what you get is access to a fully featured cloud-based PBX, which means that you can take advantage of features like auto attendant, voicemail, the ability to send calls to a mobile phone, the ability to record calls, even hold conference calls. And all of those things can help you present a professional image as a small business. Secondly, hosted telephony packages include calls. And there are none of the gotchas that you sometimes find with the fibre providers around, for example, call duration. If you look at Virgin Media's small print, you'll see that any call over 10 minutes duration to a mobile phone becomes chargeable at 8.5 pence per minute, and that can soon become expensive. Thirdly, looking to the future, as you grow, you're going to want to add additional lines, and that's much easier to do if you start out with a cloud-provided service rather than using a line associated with your broadband. Cloud-based services are infinitely more flexible. You can add and subtract lines at will, you can move your number easily. So my advice would be, don't take the obvious option, or the simple option I should say, of adding a telephone line from your fibre provider. Instead, take the fibre by all means, but add a separate seat of hosted telephony for telephony purposes instead. Now let's have a look at what BT have to offer. So here's BT's broadband packages, and to their credit they've made it fairly simple to see on the screen for us. Unlike Virgin Media Business, BT support two technologies to deliver broadband. Copper-based ADSL, and those are the services on the left, and fibre services on the right. Now the ADSL services may be all that's available in your area. They are of course slower than fibre services, but that's not to say that they won't do the job for small businesses. But just be aware that the upload speeds in particular can be very low at up to a megabit. The fibre services at up to 76 megabit down and 19 megabit up are going to be more than adequate for the vast majority of small businesses. And although they're significantly slower than the Virgin Media alternatives, in most cases they're going to be more than adequate for your needs. Where BT differ from Virgin Media is they offer a wider range of services that you can take and part and parcel of your broadband service, including guest Wi-Fi, the BT Sport app, you may or may not think that's a good idea, PC support, and some virus or antivirus protection from Symantec. In addition, with the BT Premium Infinity package, there's a neat new facility called 4G Assure, and what this is essentially is combining your fibre broadband connection with a 4G mobile broadband connection, so that if the fibre connection is lost for any reason, the service cuts over to a 4G mobile connection instead, to ensure that you remain connected to the internet until such time as the fibre can be restored. And that is quite a neat facility. You can of course do something very similar by connecting your devices to a Wi-Fi hotspot on your mobile phone, but this is a slightly more sophisticated and more automated way of doing it that BT have come up with. So if I were to choose from the BT portfolio for my small business, assuming that Premium Infinity were available, and given the price of $44.70 per month is quite competitive, I think that's the package that I would go for. I hope you found this short video helpful. Of course, if you prefer, you could just give me a call and I'll do the legwork for you, look at the market and make a recommendation. You can contact me on my office number 01788 226 210. There will be further videos in this series, so if you'd like to subscribe and be notified when they're available, you can do that on my website. Visit www.manntelecom.co.uk.